I don't know about you guys, but were you surprised Portia Williams got married to Sam Guobadia? I mean, they've been talking about it for quite some time now, but it's just strange. Remember, they were supposed to buy that house in Florida, that mansion. This one, remember Susie Levy versus Simon Guobadia? He ended up having to pay the deposit that he owed her. I believe that was ordered by a court following this in Florida, because he was supposed to buy a big mansion and then suddenly backed out of it. Very strange. And there was like a whole lawsuit that ensued with that. And then Sam Guobadia just seems like such an odd fit for her. You know, he's 57 and she's much, much younger, 41. And he was married to Phelan, Real Housewives of Atlanta's friend of. Then Porsha meets him through the show, I guess, and she gets engaged to him only after a month of dating. And Phelan is, I think, still married to him when he gets engaged to Porsha. And Phelan says that he cheated on her, and he says she cheated on him. But it does appear that Phelan cheated on Sam after you go through the deep dive. But anyway, needless to say, they were saying each other were cheating on each other. And Phelan was supposedly devastated, but she'd kind of moved on. But anyway, so then Sam ends up going with Porsha, but simultaneously, this girl who was, I think, a stripper or an exotic dancer, makes Sam's acquaintance. She ends up doing an interview with Tasha K and says that basically while he's with Porsha and even engaged to Porsha, that she's still talking to him and supposedly even was going to meet him in Vegas. And so it's all very confusing as to like, where's his headspace is, you know. And then listen to what she says. Okay, this is Tasha K. In the description, I will put a link to Tasha K's whole interview. It's awesome. And I hope she doesn't mind me showing you a little clip of it.
Seems nice.
I mean, just like the same thing, like, you know, like the whole sob story of like, you know, I'm always attracted to women who are damaged goods, and like they need therapy, and he was just going gung ho on this therapist thing, and I'm like, I have a therapist. I'm all about like my mental health and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
It's what helps you and succeeds you in life. But he's like, you know, like I've done therapy myself and they won't go. And, you know, like, you have to work on yourself, you know, like, they need to work on themselves. And I was like, yeah, okay, yeah. He's like, yeah, you know, I'm always attracted to narcissistic women. And I was like...
Well, he ain't met Porsche. What? Did he not do research on Porsche?
Yeah. I was like, okay, all right, you know. So then after he's, like, telling me all about his ex-wives and everything, and that was... Fallon was his third marriage, I think, or something like that, right? And this would be his fourth marriage. Yeah. I was like...
The problem is not with the women.
Excuse me.
It's okay. It's with you. So if he's been married, this is going to be his fourth marriage.
Yeah,
you can't keep blaming the women.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, dude. And then, like, it was just, like, you know, personally offensive to me. Because I was like, you know, you got me and my friend over here, like, eating off of your words, up in my house, sleeping in my bed. You know what I'm saying?
How was he in bed? Is he, you know, I mean, he's kind of
I can say
weighty.
he snores loud. I say
Okay.
that. When he fell asleep, I went downstairs and laid on the couch.
Did he make you miss him?
Well, after he told me that, hey, let's put our relationship on hold for the respect of his wife and stuff, like, yeah, I was like, because we were speaking every day, you know?
Okay.
And, like, I was like, yeah, like, he was just super cool, you know? Even when I was in Vegas for my girl's birthday, some videos of that and stuff like that, like, we were FaceTiming and stuff while
When
I
was
drunk.
this?
When was my girl's birthday? When did we go to Vegas? It was, like, a couple weeks ago. I think, like, 2.5 weeks ago.
2.5 weeks ago.
Yeah,
and you were FaceTiming.
So Tasha K died right there because Porsha had already announced that she was engaged to Sam. And she was like, huh? Juicy AF. Here's a beautiful picture of her Nigerian gown and outfit and crown. Just stunning. I really loved this look. And here's the designers that worked on it. Look at that. Custom gown, LA Kimmy fashion, groom, White Benin, Swank Jerry. and planner at Ellie B Events and Stan Lowe Photography. So that's who was involved with that look in that picture. Well, she looked so pretty in her Nigerian themed wedding, which was her first one. They also did a second one this last Saturday, which was more traditional American wedding. And you can see she looks like Cinderella in the American one. Very beautiful. Now, this is more my speed. Talk about Cinderella. I love the petticoat, the cinched waist, the low cut top, and the petticoat. The crown is a bit much. I mean, she's obviously like really trying to channel, you know, princess queen vibes at her wedding, but that's all cool. I love it. And I do like his military outfit. I who knew that he was in the military, I guess? Nigerian military, maybe? This wedding was mostly sponsored because it did appear in People magazine. It was featured. And as you can see, she really promoted the heck out of everybody who did pretty much everything in the wedding. I mean, look at this. If you were wondering who did her American wedding, here you go. It's like most, you know, wow. The DJ is mentioned, transportation's mentioned, the jewelry. So the Cinderella looking ball gown is Frida. That's who designed it. And she wore 4 different gowns that night for her American wedding. Porsha, bringing it. The American wedding was a destination wedding, and it happened over a few days, so it makes a little more sense why she had a few gowns. And it was at the St. Regis in Atlanta, Georgia. Her sister Lauren was her maid of honor, and her little baby girl, who's 3, was in the wedding as well. She had both a matron of honor and a maid of honor. And it was her best friend and her sister, Lauren. So that's nice. And her daughter was also in the wedding. Porsha said, this is the one. She really is sure this time. This is it. And she's like, Sam Guobadia is convinced too, although he has quite a few children from previous wives that also attended the wedding. Quentin, Nicole, Christian, Benjamin, and Zemina, whom he shares with several ex-wives. I want to be happy for them, but don't you guys think it's strange that Sam Guobadia has been married so many times and in fact was married to Phelan Pina during season 13 of Real Housewives of Atlanta? When Porsha started dating him soon after, he left Phelan allegedly because she cheated, he said, and then started dating Porsha, and then he asked Porsha to marry him within only a month or so after dating her. It was so fast. And didn't you guys think that was really strange? I wonder if this will be in a season 2 of Porsha Williams' Family Matters, right? Sam got, I think, more likable to some people during that show. And they kind of got their relationship a little better because he's sort of like a bossy guy, but he seems to do a lot for Porsha. So it kind of made more sense. And her family is batshit crazy in a good way. She was married in 2011 to Cordell Stewart, who's an ex-NFL player, and she was with him from 2011 to 2013. Let me show you what he looks like in case you don't know. Here's Cordell when he was on the Steelers. He's very happy here. He's cute. So Cordell was on Real Housewives of Atlanta, and I guess he was the one who called off the wedding. There were rumors that he might be into men too, that came in before he was even on the show. That must have been very difficult on her. He felt that she was prioritizing fame in the show over her relationship with him, and that's why he ended that marriage and probably done with filming. Hated it. Here's Cordell Stewart talking on a show called Tamron about it.
Rumor, but it's great detail. Your friend said that he was at the barbershop and he'd heard about this lewd act that was performed on you at the park and that you got locked up. He said the rumor was spreading now that you were gay, and he told you started laughing because it was absurd to you?
It's barbershop talk is where it came from. He was in the barbershop getting his haircut. And Dr. Sessoms is a home visit doctor. And he's a friend of the family. You know, when my father came in town, my stepmom came in town, my brother, whomever it may have been, we would all go over and hang out. Met him through a friend on the football team that went to Tennessee State. He's a Tennessee State grad. When telling me the story about what took place, because my dad I was raised in a barbershop. So I know the talk that goes on in the barbershop, just as you know the talk that goes on in salon. Sometimes it's just conversations that you're having. And when he told me that he was prepared to take his cane and hit somebody upside the head because they were running their mouth and just saying reckless things and saying, your boy went to jail and I heard he got caught in the park, having lewd acts performed on him by a gay person. And I'm like, one, when did I ever go to jail? Let alone, it's not true. I'm a straight man, always have been a straight man.
Right. So you said, listen, okay, this is crazy. Okay, I know barbershop trash talk. Let's move on. But as you point out in the article, you then went to work and you drove up to work and the publicist for the Pittsburgh Steelers greeted you. Now, when my publicist calls me, she knows I always say, what's wrong? It didn't occur. You see the publicist and you think, oh, hi, hey. And the publicist tells you that Dan Rooney, the owner of the team, as you refer to as Mr. Rooney, wants to talk to you. You get to his office, and this barbershop rumor has now been placed in the man who owns the team's inbox, and he's aware of it.
And he says, when I pull up the PR lady, she's like, Cordell, you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. She said, are you sure?
So he basically goes around and he has to tell the owner, I'm not gay, and he has to set the record straight for his truth to all these people. But he said it damaged his career. It was the bottom line. I don't know why that should have damaged his career, but apparently it did. And then Porsha dated this man in the middle, Dennis McKinley. He's a restaurateur. See the girl on the right? That's Porsha's cousin, beautiful girl. She said that Dennis had sexually harassed her when she was 18 or 19 years old in the restaurant that she worked at for him. And then she said that even on the show Family Matters, which Dennis does make an appearance, he's part of the drama on that first season. I saw that season, by the way. He basically assaulted her on a trip, that spiritual retreat that she does with the family to try to fix things. He's the big center of that drama. Anyway, she says on that trip that he sexually assaulted her or abused her in some way. She went on a live about it, and then she also posted it on Twitter. Porsha's cousin Storm, who was on the trip and present for the tumultuous dinner, took to social media following the explosive episode to make even more explosive allegations about Dennis. She accused the restaurateur of harassing her while she allegedly worked for him and also claimed he assaulted her in Mexico while on the retreat and, by the way, on this Bravo show. Unreal. So some fans believed her, some fans didn't, but it doesn't sound like, even though that's Porsha's baby daddy, he doesn't sound like he's got his stuff together. But what a beautiful child they made. Porsha's daughter is gorgeous. Also, Porsha's had some relatives come out and not say very nice things on the YouTube blog, sites about her. They've said she's pretentious and was kind of a snob, and I've seen some of those. I don't know. What do you guys think? I don't know much. I'm a little disconnected on the Real Housewives of Atlanta front, so I'm really interested in your feedback. Was Porsha really sweet when she was young coming up? And, is she really down to earth? And, because this comes off a little gold diggery, but maybe I'm wrong. And she's just had a rough road and she's looking for some stability. And Sam offers a grown man vibe, a fatherly vibe, and he's also financially secure to a degree. He also seems to support her dreams of doing these reality shows and having a wealthy lifestyle and all that, and she seems to be very good to her daughter. Maybe that's the most important thing. So what do you think, you guys? The wedding was stunning. I'm happy for Porsha. I hope this brings her great joy. Especially after all this kind of mediocre joy with these men, I suppose I could say fairly. All right, you guys, let me know in the comments what you think. Like, subscribe, and let me know. Do you think the wedding was beautiful? What was your favorite part? Do you think Sam is gonna last with Porsha? Could this really be it for them? That would be great. Let me know what you think.